Analysis of foreign policy. There is no guarantee that all the nations treat us with the spirit of friendship, as we love peace and wish to have friendly relations with all. This is clearly noticed throughout its history. Neighboring countries such as China and Pakistan betrayed India's trust. Pakistan participated in favor of United States in the Cold War, and this was considered as a tactic to subdue India. On the other hand, China followed its own definite policy and published without accepting the stand of India. At last, the leaders of China betrayed the trust reposed by India. In the year 1962, the Chinese forces attacked Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh areas and caused disappointment to India. With this, the whole world betrayed India. India chanted the principle of peace everywhere, but we were shocked at last. Nehru expressed sadly that till then we were in a state of illusion. Now India have come out of it. A question now arises whether we complain about the attitude of the world or China at this moment. The lessons are understood throughout the history that soft peddling cannot survive in the midst of power politics. The analysts of India's foreign and defense policies have expressed that in spite of knowing the truth, we regret it for making such mistakes. Foreign policy after Jawaharlal Nehru from the year 1964. Prime ministers who came to power after Jawaharlal Nehru did not make such a mistake. Instead, Prime Ministers Lal Bahadur Shastri and Indira Gandhi pursued the tit for tat policy. In the year 1965, Lal Bahadur Shastri against Pakistan as well as Indira Gandhi again in 1971 against Pakistan had proved their efficient defense policy and won. Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee later reformed the non-aligned policy and opened friendly dialogue with Pakistan. He also devised the programs to possess nuclear weapons. As a result of these measures, the foreign policy of India has got a final shape. How is foreign policy formulated? The national interests do not change basically. In countries like United States, Russia and in other countries, the leadership, the political party in power do not affect much. National security and national interests move in a uniform manner. The most significant factors which influence the art of formulating the foreign policy are the opinions of leaders holding the highest position, individual thoughts, experience and the advices given by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Moreover, the public opinion, experts' opinion, parliamentary decisions, political parties and cabinet decisions also influence this matter significantly. After the year 1962, India could clearly understand the role of these factors in formulating the foreign policy of India. Cargill War. The Kargil War, also known as the Kargil conflict, signifies an armed conflict between India and Pakistan that took place between May and July 1999 in the Kargil district of Kashmir. The infiltration of Pakistani soldiers and Kashmiri militants into positions on the Indian side of the line of control, which serves as the de facto border between the two nations, caused the war. In India, the conflict is also referred to as Operation Vijay, which was the name of the Indian operation to clear the Kargil sector. Before the partition of India in 1947, Kargil was part of the Baltistan district of Ladakh, a sparsely populated region with diverse linguistic, ethnic, and religious groups living in isolated valleys separated by some of the world's highest mountains. The First Kashmir War, 1947 to 48, concluded with the line of control bisecting the Baltistan district with the town and district of Kargil lying on the Indian side in the Ladakh subdivision of the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. After Pakistan's defeat in the Indo-Pakistan War of 1971, the two nations signed the Simla Agreement promising not to engage in armed conflict with respect to the boundary. There were three major phases to the Kargil War. First, Pakistan infiltrated forces into the Indian controlled section of Kashmir and occupied strategic locations, enabling it to bring NH-1 within range of its artillery fire. The next stage consisted of India discovering the infiltration and mobilization forces to respond to it. The final stage involved major battles by Indian and Pakistani forces, resulting in India recapturing most of the territories held by Pakistani forces and the subsequent withdrawal of Pakistani forces back across the line of control after international pressure. The Indian Army, later on supported by the Indian Air Force, recaptured a majority of the positions of the Indian side of the line of control infiltrated by the Pakistani troops and militants. With international diplomatic oppositions, the Pakistani forces withdrew from the remaining Indian positions along the line of control.